What's up, public? Welcome back to another video. And yes, we're back with another video. I understand that it's been some time. It's been a week, but it's fruitful now. Look what we have here. We have a special guest, Mr. Ankit. Let me introduce to you Mr. Ankit from Almighty Blues FC. And he's been my support system, right, since years. We go back
Great to be
long,
here. Yeah,
since
come on.
2021. So Ankit भाई कैसे हो यार? कैसे बताओ?
भाई मतलब ईशान एंड मी गो बैक इन द डे ना, लेकिन वही है, इट्स सच अ मतलब कोइंसिडेंस दैट द फर्स्ट टाइम आई एम देयर ऑन योर चैनल इज
Yeah.
बेसिकली जब एक हफ्ता हो गया हमने जब वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप क्राउन वापस से पहना है. ग्रेट टू बी हियर. ऑब्वियसली लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू डिस्कशन. देयर सो मच टू डिस्कस.
Let's talk about the here we goes, right? And the big elephant in the room, and the latest one, Hugo Ekitike, has been confirmed for a transfer from Frankfurt to Liverpool. And it's a big one. It's a big one, Ankit Bhai. I mean, listen, we were thinking of someone like Alexander Isak, जिसका saga भी काफी लंबा चला, he was about to join Liverpool. There was some reluctancy with regards to the transfer fee, and everything, and Newcastle being reluctant to sell Isak, and then we knew the fact that has to be some replacement. Was it Gyökeres? Was it not? Now we have the confirmation that. And by the way, Liverpool went very quick with this Ekitike deal. They were not messing around. क्यों? क्योंकि Isak नहीं हो पाएगा ना. It's always tough to crack a Premier League deal, right? जबकि you're dealing with someone like
चैंपियंस लीग ना, ऐसा नहीं कि एकदम ही डेस्परेशन थी
100%.
फॉर न्यूकासल एंड पीएसआर आई थिंक वाज सॉल्व्ड. लेकिन आई थिंक यू नो व्हाट द रीजन व्हाई इतना बड़ा डील हुआ और वो भी इतना क्विकली is because there was a thin chance again. Matlab, thoughts go to Jota because and his family and Liverpool as a club, because I don't think that could be वो भरपाई नहीं हो सकती. मतलब वो तो नहीं हो सकती. लेकिन that is another reason. Obviously, we shouldn't discuss transfers because of that. लेकिन the reality is that there is a striker lost, right? And again, rest in peace, thought God. लेकिन the reality ये भी है कि Isaac most likely हमें सब पता था it'll be a like absolutely crazy transfer deal for it to come. हो सकता है it happens late, अभी doubt है लेकिन. But Ekitike also not just Liverpool, Newcastle themselves are very interested, and of course Chelsea famously before Joao Pedro did his thing at the Club World Cup. So I think there is a lot of reasons. Transfer window है ना, ऐसा चीज है ना, ऐसा कीड़ा है ना जहां पर आपको ऐसी बीमारी लगती है जो आपको पता भी नहीं लगता कब लग गई है. हम लिवरपूल फुटबॉल क्लब 18 महीने पहले famously Jurgen Klopp said about Newcastle what he said, right? And now see the irony that they have kind of outbid in a way Newcastle for Hugo Ekitike. But again, with respect, they haven't spent so much last 2 years. मैं समझ में आता है, लेकिन reality ये भी है कि यार Newcastle, if they really wanted, they would have gone. Does that mean Isaac is staying and they are getting someone else, or does that mean only Isaac is there? I don't know. लेकिन लिवरपूल के लिए ये डील आई थिंक विल बी अ गुड डील इवेंचुअली. मुझे लगता है आई नो बुंडेसलीगा टू प्रीमियर लीग स्ट्राइकर्स वी हैव सीन दैट, वो पिक्चर हमने देखी है. बट आई जेन्युइनली बिलीव दैट एक ऐसा बंदा है ना जो लिवरपूल के सिस्टम में एक्चुअली सूट करेगा.
Ekitike to Liverpool, I think so is massive, and just like you reiterated as well in the in your initial when you were talking about this, that he's going to be very impactful is what we presume to be. And what's your thoughts? I believe with the likes of Mo Salah, and now they've signed Florian Wirtz as well, right? Ekitike is going to be very impactful. I think so. This is a huge boost up to Liverpool squad. What's your thoughts?
I think the best part is tactically speaking, Ekitike ऐसा बंदा है जो he kind of floats around. He's almost like a Joao Pedro or a young Isaac, आप बोल सकते हो. उसी प्रोफाइल का striker है. Obviously, he likes to play those second striker average positions, right? That doesn't mean that he's not a striker. He definitely has a good strike in him. Problem है just like maybe Watkins and to some extent Jackson. उसका भी I think conversion rate is not the absolute best. तो वहाँ पर issue होगा. But the best part is Liverpool में there are other finishers. Like you said, Salah, let's be real. Chelsea fans should know more than anyone how we feel about it all those years ago जो हुआ था versus अभी जो हो रहा है. तो Mo Salah is there. Florian Wirtz, ठीक है. And I think ये बंदा will be one of the few extremely bombastic attacking signings which will actually do good. Florian Wirtz, I believe in that. Then you have Gakpo, highly underrated. I don't know for whatever reason, especially in our parts of the world. I don't know why he's so underrated. बंदा भाई लेफ्ट विंग खेलता है, स्ट्राइकर खेल सकता है, राइट विंग भी खेल सकता है. Gakpo can play as a cam
Correct.
as well. Physicality है. Luis Diaz
Mm-hmm.
might go to Bayern, looks like it. लेकिन I think Ekitike को ऐड करो तो चारों बंदे ऐसे हैं ना, who could be in the number 9 spot in gameplay, or who could play wide, or who could play behind the striker, if you think about it. So what does that mean?
Correct.
It means that there's a lot of flexibility, fluidity, dynamism in that front line, which is
Right.
what you exactly want after you won a title. Famously, मतलब हमें याद है, again as Chelsea fans, जब हम अच्छा करते हैं ना, बहुत अच्छा करते हैं सीजन में, नेक्स्ट सीजन वी
Hmm.
काइंड ऑफ टाइटर फिश हो जाता है. व्हाई? बिकॉज
Right.
टीम्स
Right.
सस अस आउट. मे बी इज द मोटिवेशन प्लस टीम्स सस अस आउट. Liverpool did not change much last year because Arne Slot was kind of using Jurgen Klopp's players. Now that
Hmm.
he's got his players, he will tweak a little bit more, and that is
Right.
where एक win-win है for Liverpool players and the manager, because the
Hmm.
opposition is not able to suss you out so soon as what they were able to towards the end of last season, if you remember. So I think
Right.
fantastic. I know कि Liverpool fans अभी भी चाह रहे हैं Rodrigo भी आ जाए, which is I think too good to be true considering 95 million euros का deal है. मतलब I will be really shocked if that happens. They've spent around 280 million or something in the window. I know, again, PSR
Yeah.
very good, but still.
Yeah, right. No, fair enough. I think so. Again, a W transfer for Liverpool, I would say, all in all, because there are lots of teams who are aiming for this striker, and them getting him, knowing the fact that Isaac was a bit difficult, and let's not you know play around or dilly dally around the entire transfer window. Let's close in a striker and close this saga. So fair enough. W for Liverpool, I guess. We'll have to see how this player turns up for them. We'll go to the next one, Ankit bhai. And I think so. It's the latest one. It's a big one as well for me. Marcus Rashford to
Yeah.
Barcelona on a loan deal, though, and we've anticipated that as well. We've talked this at your channel as well. We were anticipating a loan deal. Now it's done to Barcelona. I think so. This is a very smart move for Barcelona indeed, and especially if you talk about Barcelona, knowing the fact that all their financial troubles that they have, that they keep on having, I don't know, for so many years that they're having, but knowing that fact and also what the team wants, right? I think so. This is a very smart move. What's your thought?
I think एक रूल निकलना चाहिए, especially again with all due respect, biggest clubs in the world and all that, Real Madrid, Barcelona, I think to some extent Inter Milan and Bayern Munich, कि भाई no loan deal should be allowed, no free deals should be allowed. Well, how will the other clubs reach their level? I know Rashford is not been that Rashford जो हम जानते थे
Yeah, yeah,
2000. I get that, right? लेकिन
correct.
that 2-3 years ago, I remember that performance he had against Barcelona. मतलब one
Yes,
cannot forget that performance, right?
yes.
And I genuinely believe out of the मतलब बोलते हैं ना sour grapes in Manchester United, Rashford was
Mm-hmm.
the best one rather out of those sour
Right,
grapes, and without a
right,
doubt, I think timing of it is very important. एक तो
right.
जैसे आपने बोला Barcelona, because they have got a loan to buy. If they
Yeah.
want to buy, they'll buy, but हमें पता ही है क्या होने वाला है.
क्या होने वाला पता है?
Untold, but we all know what's going to happen.
Yes,
Unless
yes.
Rashford एकदम फाड़ दे, right? वो probably at this point unlikely है, but maybe it's likely, because while
Yeah.
Barcelona buying time to possibly get another big name next year eventually, for the succession planning etc, or maybe Rashford himself motivation और भी ज्यादा है. Not that he has to get his career back on track, जो थोड़ा बहुत एस्टन विला से थोड़ा improve हुआ था, I must say, but as a substitute more or less. यहाँ पर there is a firm option, क्योंकि वो left wing was the number one priority of Barcelona, and I think वहां पर it's his best position. Let's be real, he's not a striker. He's actually a left
Yeah.
winger who can play as a striker, a left forward per se, right? और
Correct.
World Cup year, for the World Cup year का motivation, I think उससे ज्यादा मोटिवेशन चाहिए नहीं इसको, because I think
Right.
टुकल के टीम में मतलब for him to get and actually do well, I think he has to do well at Barcelona, which is a possibility मेरे ख्याल से, considering the pace of the La Liga, without due respect again, because मुझे लगता है Rashford एक ऐसा एक element लाता है which they were somehow looking at from Nico Williams, getting in behind, change of pace. While Rafinha has that, but Rafinha in Barcelona does a different role. He does
That's a
pressing.
different role. Yeah.
ठीक है,
Correct.
तो Rafinha को आप डालोगे pressing from the front, and then on the wings you have Lamine Yamal, who's a baller from deep positions, and Rashford getting closer to Leva. So I think,
Correct.
and Balde overlapping or whatever it may be. So I think ये एक tactically again, it is a brilliant fit. Uh,
Yes.
kind of deja vu feeling हो रही है Barcelona fans को. Like Joao Felix also went famously there. We must be remembering more than anyone. And then हम सोचे थे यार वापस से चेल्सी आ जाएगा और अच्छा करेगा. But Manchester United fans, though, I don't think are wanting Rashford back at this point in time. Looks like it. Yeah, they could have got a better deal in terms of the 30 million buy option. Lekin, I think they are more than happy. Yeah, 14 million, I think, gross salary, if I'm not wrong, and Barcelona is taking care of it fully. Wow, that's a
Yeah.
surprise for Manchester United. Good one, but Barcelona looks like आपका थोड़ा finances improve हो रहे हैं time by time.
Nah, 100%. I think so. This is a smart move, and especially like you said, for Rashford's career perspective as well. This is a very
Yeah,
important move as well. Because look, this is a new league. Understood. Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world, proclaimed, yeah, by many. So, him also playing in a Hansi Flick system. You know what I mean? Him playing in the left wing and his right foot being the natural dominant, you know, selection that you'd had for the left wing, right? So everything being combined, and not just that, but also the players that he would have around him, right? I think so. Everything will add up to take his level to the
like मैं
improvement phase.
example दूंगा क्योंकि you said Flick, no, Perisic, how Flick kind
Yeah,
of got his level up. मतलब
correct,
you never
correct,
know.
correct. No, 100%. I think so. This is again, this is a smart move, and even in the initial stages of Rashford's career, when I thought that he should have tried in some other leagues as well, which could have uh, really bought out his potential. But it is कहते हैं ना, दे रहा है दुरुस्त है, so it is what it is, and we move to the next one, Ankit bhai, and this is a big one again. Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United, and it seems like, for me, I mean, we knew this was going on for a very long time. But looking at where Man United finished, right, last season, they're not having no Champions League next season, right? They're 15th. They will have मतलब midweek में कुछ करना नहीं है उनको. They'll have all the hate alongs, all these Man United fans in the streams, right? और कुछ करने के लिए है नहीं. They might watch some UFC matches, Formula One matches. I don't know what they'll do, but they still ended up signing a Bryan Mbeumo, which I believe is a fantastic signing. He's a fantastic player. What's your thoughts?
मतलब एज अ प्लेयर प्रोफाइल मैं बोलता हूँ ऑब्वियसली मतलब रिसेंसी बायस होगा बट यू राइट इन आपको अगर प्रीमियर लीग में खेलना है एंड आई थिंक यू हैव अ लेफ्ट फुटेड विंगर स्लैश स्ट्राइकर जो फिजिकलिटी भी लाता है हु इज नॉट टू ओल्ड एट द सेम टाइम मतलब अपेरेंटली ही वाज अ रोनाल्डो फैन आई थिंक फॉर मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फैंस इट कुड बी बेटर कंसिडरिंग वो मतलब दे हैव हिस्ट्री ऑब्वियसली ह्यूज हिस्ट्री लेकिन दे डोंट हैव चैंपियंस लीग फुटबॉल ऑब्वियसली द प्राइस इज बिग और वहां पर इफ यूर ऑपोजिशन फैन यूर रिमाइंडिंग योरसेल्फ भी मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड में क्या हुआ था एंटनी का और बाहर क्या हुआ था the difference is that Anthony came from abroad and then he couldn't settle in for whatever reasons be it in Manchester United. Bryan Mbeumo is basically he comes across as a typical Premier League player, you know what I mean. So I think he should be fine.
Correct.
मतलब
Yeah.
all the shithousery etc वो आराम से ले लेगा. I know Anthony also comes from the street football from Brazil. लेकिन I think
Yeah.
उसकी टशनबाजी है. Bryan Mbeumo looks like a little bit humbler from the
Yeah.
outside, right? So I believe that uh, it's a no-brainer. मतलब Matthias Cunha, Bryan Mbeumo, kind of although different system, लेकिन what they are trying to achieve, I think in terms of football, वही है जो लिवरपूल का दिख रहा है. मतलब more or less people who can float around fluid as well as basically impact Premier League experience or other generally experience. So I think it's looking very good for now. It all comes down to who is the striker. Agar they'll end up with only Zirkzee and Hoyland again, let's see. Matlab, as you said, they just have on average one game a week, so maybe it'll help them as well. लेकिन I still believe उनको ही चाहिए एक proper striker क्योंकि while he got the goals last year, the Mbomos and the Rogers are actually the cream जो last year के बंदे थे in terms of that league,
Yes.
but
Correct.
they have to do it yet another year, and especially when you are at the highest level. And Manchester United, let's be real, they want to get back
Yeah.
there. So time will tell.
No, fair enough. Again, one of the, yeah, पता नहीं इस हफ्ते में इतने एक के बाद एक के बाद एक के बाद एक here we goes हो गए. It was like, wow, these are some decent transfers. These are
Yeah.
some big transfers, which probably might have, of course, we might have nurtured for weeks now, and now it has come to fruit. But yeah, I think so. This was again one of the transfers that I thought is very impactful, and I think so. United fans should be happy about this, even if they are. I think so they should, because it wasn't expected, and this just tells that how much bigger the brand value still is, just from the term of Manchester United, because
Oh
this
yeah,
probably
मतलब
the last
Thomas
season.
Frank remember went to Tottenham. He could have gone there, right? उसका
Yeah,
मैनेजर था. But obviously Manchester United select करेगा यार कोई भी. Even if you have Tottenham playing Champions League football, doesn't matter. That's the reality.
it doesn't matter. 100%, 100%. So वही है, मतलब एक पीआर कहते हैं ना कि पीआर पुश है, एक ब्रांड वैल्यू है यूनाइटेड का, एंड आई थिंक सो it'll remain until unless they totally capitulate like what Nottingham Forest past, पहले जो बाबा आदम के जमाने में जीते हुए थे चैंपियंस लीग एंड ऑल ऑफ द स्टफ,
Yeah,
राइट?
नहीं नहीं.
So
I think Manchester United देखो मतलब actually if you carefully look at on paper ना, I know it looks like they need a squad overhaul and everything.
yeah,
I think it's just that they need to play with 11 players together for 11 months. Obviously when I say 11 वो 11 नहीं, 11 plus substitutes है, but that's
yeah,
what I mean कि कहीं ना कहीं वो settled एक unit चाहिए. और इस बार ना Manchester United fans on Almighty Blues they keep commenting कि ज़्यादा links नहीं आ रहे etc. I think it's not a bad thing sometimes. Amorim he has to deliver. अगर नहीं करेगा
yeah.
तो I think anyway you know the answer. But I think he has a good chance इस बार क्योंकि there's time on him.
Correct. No, 100%. Again, I mean, W move for United. It'll be interesting to see where do they go from here. Now they've locked up the right hand side, the right wing side. What do they do with the striker situation? What do you do with some of the midfielders? Do they let go of some of the defenders, which they probably should have, long time back? We'll have to see how United goes about,
Yeah.
right? Ankit bhai, the next one, and I think so. This is a bit older news, but it wasn't covered in Ishan TV, right? And I want, and us being Chelsea fans will have to cover this, right? Mr. Noni Madueke, right? You're one of the favorites of Chelsea. Right?
Oh
He's
my.
gone to Arsenal on a permanent deal, and I think so. You surely had a party celebration for this.
Yeah. Say no to Noni. मतलब honestly speaking, मैं I don't know. Sometimes it gives you life lessons. Transfer news.
Yeah.
मैं बताता हूँ कैसे. मतलब our famous Gali meter Almighty Blues, he's right up there. Right up there.
Yeah.
The Sanchos, the Jacksons, and the Noni Maduekes and Sanchez's, just so you know, people. तो भाई Noni Madueke finally got lower on the Gali meter means he was growing on me. ठीक है? And that's where you know that okay, life has taught me a lesson again. Don't trust anyone too early. That's what happened. But देखो, jokes apart, as a backup, I think it's a excellent signing for Arsenal. मतलब, I'm not even joking. As a backup,
Yeah.
purely, right? Like we have seen when he knows that he's a backup, how his body language becomes. We all have seen that, and I think
Yes.
2 years. देखो ऐसा नहीं कि he's 18 or 19. ठीक है? तो I think if and big if Arteta can manage him, and if Arteta doesn't win a trophy, then the new manager whoever comes in can manage him. Then he's a great transfer, and if he's willing to accept, just say Nicholas Jackson we were discussing, right? Then it's okay. But otherwise, at that money, 52 million for Noni Madueke, I have to thank a lucky stars. Simple as that. Because देखो, I know कि साला की बात किए थे and all that, but this guy at 23 is basically failed. Yeah, let's be real. As much as Conference League में and Bulls के against 2 बार किया था and all, but he's not been that guy. इतना physicality है, but टशनबाजी ज़्यादा है. I don't see that he has the finished article that you need in England international. अब interesting रहेगा. Tuchel will still pick him now that he's not playing for Chelsea.
Correct. That's a very fair point. Again, like you're saying, Arsenal के लिए backup में, for me personally, they could have had a bit more research on the market. थोड़ा सा Premier League के बाहर, अगर if I was an
More than
Arsenal fan,
research, I think it's a huge red flag. I'm just wondering,
yeah,
you are signing a player who is ready to sign for you 4 days before his first Club World Cup Championship, where we have actually won. That's a huge red flag for me. If I am
correct.
even signing the player, I know कि player आना चाहता है, और again with respect to Arsenal,
Yeah.
what
I
is
mean, they could
that
have
huge
delayed. I
motivation
mean,
कहाँ थी?
Madueke from his side could have delayed कि
Correct.
भैया रुक जाओ यार,
Should
एक
have,
हफ्ते
he
भर रुक
should
जाओ.
have. And I
Yeah.
think मैं इसलिए हंस रहा हूँ, और मैंने अपने चैनल पर भी भाई I have called him a traitor openly, fraud traitor है भाई. देखो Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, and that tells you. Till date, I don't respect William Gallas what I used to when he played for Chelsea in the first couple of years
Yeah.
because of that reason alone. That tells you the answer.
Hmm.
Not acceptable. But
No.
ठीक है, मतलब wish him luck, but भाई वही है, टॉप 4 ट्रॉफी ले लो और चैंपियंस लीग तो भाई स्पेलिंग सीख के आ जाना वापस से. बस.
Man said trophy. But yeah, I think so. That's it. I guess we've reached to the end of the video, guys. I think so. It's been a fun conversation of all the chained here we goes that we had in this past week. It was one after the other, after the other, after the other, and there are more to come. I think so. This transfer market is just on the middle of it, and then there is more to come. But yeah, we've reached to the end of the video. Yes, all thank you to the almighty Blues FC, Ankit, and of course, this is, I'm sure, the one of the many collaborations that we'll have in this channel.
Now
And
that we
yes,
are champions of the world,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't think we are going to, stay back.
No, 100%, guys. Please do check his channel, which will be in the description. The link will be in the description. And yes, we'll meet in the next video. Until then, goodbye, guys. Bye.